Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night and of course we bring you the very best of Club Rugby. Western Province Club Rugby, talking about rugby in and out Cape Town. We'll talk a little bit about the Community Cup, the Community Challenge, the Varsity Cup, that's about to start. And we'll tell you about where we went to on Monday. We went to the Western Province Academy out in Tokai, and we also popped in at Elsiersrivier. So all the old timers there, all the old connections, the couplings, my brothers. Something like that. Talking about my brothers, Riaz, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you back, first time this year.
Good to be back, JP. I'm looking forward to exciting 2015. En dan nog een skaap bij Elsie's.
A skaap?
Ja, misschien twee dia.
I said to them, if you go down to Elsie's, you know I'm going to be in trouble because now we've got to do the whole thing at Elsie's. In fact, last week already they were saying we should do a... Lyndon was saying, yeah, we should do a potjie course at Elsie's. Then I said, are you mad? You've just told everybody we're going to come. What? Can I be in trouble with Rangers? I'm in trouble with Collegians? I'm
Whoever else.
The whole lot. Anyway, folks, also welcoming onto the show for the very first time. His name is Sharky, otherwise known as Shaun Lilford. Shaun, nice to have you on Cape Rugby.
Good, thanks very much for having me.
Long overdue.
It is, it's been a while, huh?
You're a bit of a rugby aficionado. I mean, you spread your wings wide. You're involved with Hamilton's rugby, you're involved with Judge Rugby, you're involved with Ultimate Rugby, and of course you blog a lot on European club rugby.
Yeah, I do enjoy the game a little, and trying my best to get it out and about and get my fingers in pies. And
is it true that you got involved with European rugby after the RussianBrides.com thing?
Well, I was hoping not too many people remembered that.
Yeah. All right, so a lot of activity, but we're looking forward to chatting with you about specifically about the Community Cup. I think with Hamilton's and Durban being the kind of the flagship teams that are going to be playing in the Community Cup, we want to chat with you about that. But of course, Anton Moorman, your head coach there, started up the academy, the Western Province Academy out in Tokai. Do you guys still manage to see him enough?
Yeah, we do see him. Well, he's a fair amount, but he's quite a busy man at the moment, and he's keeping himself quite busy.
Yeah. So so folks, we managed to catch up with the guys at the new player intake, and the guys have come from far and wide. The new player intake that arrives on Monday from all over the country, in fact from all over the world, to go and get their boots on at the academy. They found out where their bunk beds are and where the mess hall is and where the toilets are, all getting ready to come and train in Western Province Rugby. We managed to catch up there with some of the speeches as they launched the new intake on Monday. Let's catch up with the guys.
I would like to formally, first of all, welcome everyone to Cape Town, and specifically to Kai, and specifically to the Western Province Rugby Academy. We are passionate about the Western Cape. We are passionate to have you here as young men. Hopefully you will embody the same to one day play for the Stormers, and why not? All the young men and all the parents and all the guardians who are here today, welcome to Cape Town. Welcome to Currie Cup country. Welcome to the Tokai Western Province Rugby Academy. Make the most of it. Take everything out of this and succeed. I wish you the very, very best for 2015.
Now, what I would like to see is most probably those of you that saw the Currie Cup, those are the type of games that we want to put together, you know, but it must be a kind of a product that people want to come and watch. But we need quality players to be able to do that. And like I say, to each and every one of you guys, you have to take it on the chin and work as hard as you can and see how quickly you can get into the higher structures. The only thing I want to say to you, you know, is go for the big dreams, okay? Back yourself, okay, and never give up. So good luck for the rest of the year, and let's see where you are in a year's time, maybe in 6 months' time. And what value can you add to Western Province?
What Mullies and Spotty and Keith and Darren and Troy have done here is extraordinary. And we saw it last year when 10 players came from, and theoretically then the academy was brand new and outside of the sort of fold. And in 1 year they had 10 guys playing both under 19 and under 21 rugby. You know, out of us, I don't know how many started with 40, but a quarter of the guys outside the system. Which meant that at the 19 and 21 level last year, they produced more players than the two famous universities did from the Varsity Cup, coming directly into Western Province structures. The academy is on the radar now, and if you guys put in, like Gert says, we will reward you at Western Province, and we will look at you. So it's very exciting. And once again, well done to these guys to my left who have done an extraordinary achievement here. So thanks very much.
So if you're going to have an inspirational talk, I suppose Gert Small and John Dobson, those are two guys, they'll get it done for you, Riaz.
Definitely, when Gert looks at you and he stares at you, then you know you can listen to him.
But there's something about Gert that he's got that look,
He's got that.
like, Sharky, I mean, you know.
Yeah, big intimidating man.
Yeah. Dobson there, nice to have him as well. Nice to see the West Bromwich guys get out to the academy. We haven't seen much activity there, and it's great to see that they're now backing the academy. I'm sure Moody's will be very happy with that.
For sure, and especially looking at or listening to the numbers that came through into the age group provincial sides, it's you know, they've got to sit up and take notice.
Yeah, and so guys, good luck there with the academy. I'm sure it's going to go from strength to strength, but a lot of players that arrive there, as I said, they arrive from all over the country, all over the world. We managed to catch up there with Keegan Fortune, one of the guys that's just joined the academy, and I think if you go according to the words of what Gert Smart was saying there, you know, they're going to want to play to get into the Western Province structures. That's the key thing. So let's catch up there with the parents of Keegan Fortune.
Since about 1 or 2 years old, he was interested in rugby, always wear the big tocks, and so come home from Crest, get on his big tocks and into the house, and there it started, and he went to the rugby school, Western Province Rugby School, Western Cape Rugby School, and then afterwards he decided he wanted to come to Western Province. The people on the field, the scouts, they watched him and they asked him to come to Stellenbosch Academy, and he decided to come to Western Province Academy.
Okay, because the passion for him, for rugby passion and watching VP, that was the biggest motivation for him, and that's why we decided whatever comes, we will make it for him. And that's why we let him come here for his trials, and that is why we as parents are satisfied, because we watch and we love VP.
So a little bit of an introduction there for the parents as well, so they could find out what's happening there at the academy. You guys had your team building session last year.
We had a training camp at Chrysalis last year before the playoff game that we played against Kraaifontein, and the facilities they've got there is amazing. Yeah. I mean, the bunk beds, everything, the whole scenario, the vibe, it makes you want to train. It's conducive to that type of environment for you to want to train and take it further, man. So the guys, all the best to them. And like Gert said, only the hard work is going to get them through into the structures.
Where's Violet? Did Violet go anywhere this year? Did you do a training session? Did you all go to the factory?
Yeah, we went to the factory, and we'll do something the week before Easter weekend. We'll do something again for the weekend.
I suppose for the guys like Hamilton's, you know, the Hammies and that, Durbell, they had to get their kind of team building sessions done now already, or even earlier.
Yeah, there was a lot of pre-season training done in sort of just ending in December, and the guys had a couple of weeks off and are back again, because second week in Feb, Community Cup starts. There's already a pre-season sort of...
What's the date of the Community Cup start? In fact, I'm not sure if we got the fixtures. We're going to try and put the Community Cup fixtures up for you a sec, but what's the date of the...
7th of Feb, if I'm not mistaken.
7th of Feb, so it's the same weekend start as the Community Challenge.
Sorry, it's the 14th, it's the week after. It's the week after, yeah.
Right, yeah. So okay, folks, well, there you go then. The Community Cup starts on the 14th, and then the Community Challenge starts on the 7th. Yeah, I think that had to switch a little bit. Now, folks, the Dutchmen in rugby. They are just coming out from everywhere, all the way from Holland. David Weissman, new player at the club from overseas. The Dutchmen have now started to play rugby, finally, in South Africa. Let's catch up with David, one of the new players at the academy.
Well, yeah, I was in Durban for the last 2 years doing at school, but I didn't really feel comfortable at the Sharks Academy, so then I started looking at other options, and now I'm here. It's just it got onto my path and never looked back. It's ridiculous. It's such a huge experience, because in Durban I saw very famous people as well, like big rugby players, big coaches, and I'm used to playing in Holland, where you see nobody. Rugby is such a small sport over there, so it's awesome to just be in such a rugby country, working with these incredible coaches and players, and yeah, it's a once in a lifetime experience. My dad, he played rugby. He was born in South Africa. Took it with to Holland, and I just really enjoyed the sport. I was a chubby little guy when I played rugby, so I wasn't really made for soccer either. So that was probably why I stayed in in the rugby corner for most of my time. But yeah, no, I just love the sport and I love it. When I was a 5-6-year-old little boy, play soccer, but my dad was like, "Nah, first year of rugby, and then you can do whatever you want." And I never looked back.
I don't know. Yeah, well, Riaz?
Border control.
Border control.
Stricte border control.
The immigration laws are not what they used to be, yeah. But it's exciting. I mean, don't you think that's great stuff? From all around the world, people coming to Western Province to come. It's like, you know, yeah, people don't know about it, but we've got all these international teams who come practice football here and cycling teams that are in Cape Town.
Argentinian rugby teams,
rugby teams
they're here all the time, throughout the year.
And I mean, I'm sure now we've got kids coming to play from around the world to come and practice here into an academy like this. That's great.
Well, it's good, and Cape Town's not exactly a terrible place to be, so pretty decent if you can come through here and do things that you enjoy as well and stay, have an extended stay.
Yeah, another extended stay in Cape Town, you can't beat that. DP De Lange is another one of the new players at the academy. We managed to catch up with him.
Ek is DP De Lange, ek kom al van Bloemfontein af, van die Vrystaat af. Nee, ek's 'n loskakel en ek hou van hardloop rugby. Nie baie skop nie, maar as dit nodig is sal ek skop. En verder geniet ek net maar myself te wees op die veld. Nee, ek was maar net lus om 'n bietjie 'n verandering in te kom en ek bietjie uit Bloem uit te kom, bietjie nuwe ervarings op te doen hier in die Kaap. En ek sien uit en ek dink WP kyk goed na al die jonger spelers, so dat ek besluit om hiernatoe te kom. Yes, nee, ek's baie excited om met hulle te werk. Ek sien uit en ek dink hulle gaan ons baie goed leer en so aan. Nee, ek wil verseker WP onder 19 speel en verseker kyk of ek nie verder kan gaan verder in my loopbaan nie. So hierdie jaar is dit nooit eers WP onder 19. Nee, net om verseker my beter te maak en myself en 'n beter rugbyspeler te maak.
Yeah, a lot of kids there. A lot of kids have joined up. They've come to the academy. It's going to be very exciting. Very exciting. And just to keep bringing you the flavour of what's happening at the academy, and I'm sure Anton Moorman, when we get him back on the show, is going to tell us more about the academy. Martin van der Klauw is a father of the new Holland Academy recruit, Conrad, who was, of course, also joined up there. Let's catch up now on the parents of one of the international players.
Yeah, we're from Holland, from The Hague, and very much enjoying Cape Town. Well, South Africa is one of the most awesome places to play rugby, a lot better than in the Netherlands, and this is a great opportunity for them to develop themselves and become better players and understand the culture here and enjoy that as well. Well, I used to play rugby. And he started when he was 5, and that was in Belgium, and then he went to the Netherlands, and he joined the academy in Holland, but now it's taking up to the next level. Absolutely. Now this is a dream. This is a dream for any kid of that age, and certainly for kids from the Netherlands. Yeah. Now, and well, actually, he knows one of the trainers here, the physical trainers, Jonathan Raphael, and so he's really excited to work with the guys here and enjoy his stay.
Anyway, so nice chatting with the guys there. Another one of the players also at the academy, Samson Simande. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, I was playing in a tournament in June in Worcester, and one of the coaches saw me and called me, so I decided to take up the opportunity. I play loose head. That's the #1 prop. I think I'm one of the best in that position, and I strive to be the best. Yeah. Well, I just want to groom myself to be the best because I'm a pretty fast progressor. So I'm going to take everything that comes my way and try to make the best out of this. Well, my goals are only to build my character and build my structure, condition myself better. But I'm actually planning to make it into the Stormers in the next 2 years. I'm extremely excited. I want to see what they have to offer, and I'm going to absorb everything that they tell me. Sure, that I'm scared because currently I'm a bit unfit, but yeah, I'll take everything that comes my way.
So players from all over the Western Cape, these also coming down there. So not only from international and upcountry, but also locally giving guys more opportunity. And I think this is quite important, Riaz. You know, considering we've got the institute, they've got a full house, and now we've got the academy, and that's now a full house. I mean, it's not going to be long before we have to open another academy and get more guys.
Which wouldn't be bad, because the opportunities now, like John Dobson said previously as well, the Stellenbosch Academy, the same thing. They took in about, I think it was 10 or 15 players outside that were not contracted. And there's an opportunity for them. There were about 2 last year that came through the ranks from the uncontracted guys. And if the conversion rate at the academy is 10, like you said, a quarter of them making it through last year into the under 19 and under 21 ranks, then obviously we can look forward to even more conversion rates amongst the club's players coming through. But the opportunities are at least there now.
And especially if you look at those guys that are playing club to Vodacom. Imagine if we had another academy for them. Because, I mean, obviously these guys have got full-time jobs, they work during the day, and that it's not quite spot on. But there are a lot of kids that are coming through the ranks. In club, I mean, we've got 15,000 kids in clubs at least. And what, 25,000 kids? 10,000 high school players. So out of that, there could be a lot. I mean, it's more than enough to make 10 academies.
Exactly.
I think what we want to do is though make sure that they stay here, that they don't go to some other academy shops.
That was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing was that we've got lots of players, but whether we retain them or not, or retain the right guys is the most important, I think, for the region. You know, we want to make sure that Western Province and the Stormers stay strong, and you know, the age-old saying that you know, Stormers in the Western Cape and Western Province are strong, then the Boks will be strong.
Yeah, but of course not everybody can afford to go to this academy. I mean, unless you've got a scholarship or sponsorship. So I suppose it's also quite important that guys like Jerome with the talent identification, when he sees these guys, he kind of maybe does a bit of a referral. Before they, because we're going to always lose players. I mean, we see the other unions constantly poaching our guys.
Constantly, their scouts are here all the time. All the little tournaments you have, the 90 tournaments, they are here. And they will definitely poach our players. But that's why there's more opportunities now. So the youth coming through the system will find that in the past, there might have been, if you weren't contracted at Province, you needed to find other avenues. Whereas today, you can now join the academy, you can now join be the extra person, if Jerome spots you. You know what I mean? So there are more opportunities that exist today, so which is good. It bodes well.
And it's, you know, the thing though is when I know that the guys jumped on the phone, they said to the other unions, you know, we're going to send some scouts up to you guys. To have a look at the tournaments and that. If you want to send some scouts down to us, you please do. So you know what they did? They sent the voortrekkers down. Okay, guys, did you remember the scouts as like the English version of the voortrekkers when you're all right, then some of the female unions, of course, sent the brownies down, the girl guides down. But we'll send the scouts, all right. I will take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll catch up with one of our favorite clubs, Elsie Shafir. What's happening out there? Practice is back on the grind, and they've said that you're welcome to come and join it. And a little bit later, I'm going to talk to Riaz about how long you've still got to go and join a club. When can you register? How much time you've got? We'll talk about that after the break. And remember, the Vasco tournament, at least the Vasco. Yeah, maybe it should be a Vasco tournament soon, but the Vasco Tavern, kind support of Cape Rugby TV, that competition is coming up a little bit later, and you'll be able to win for yourself a 250 Rand meal voucher courtesy of the Vasco Tavern. We'll be back with you after the break. Well, the Vasco Tavern, as I said before the break, is of course one of the kind supporters of the Cape Rugby TV show and all Hamilton's rugby football players, from what I understand. So if you want to win yourself a dinner voucher to the value of 250 Rand, SMS the word Vasco to 33280, 33280, and you put yourself in line to win a fantastic Portuguese meal there, courtesy of the Vasco Tavern. 250 Rand meal voucher. You can get out there, you can take your entire family with you, you'll have a real jaw. I think it's going to be well worth it. So once again, if you didn't get that cell phone number, let's take a look at that slide just quickly one more time. The Vasco Tavern, there at the bottom you see it, 33280. Win a dinner voucher valued at 250 bucks. Yeah, there you go, 250 bucks. And you can get yourself off to the Vasco Tavern. Right, Elsie Rafir, they were out in practice. A lot of teams are actually busy practicing. And we're trying to do the rounds, trying to make sure we give the clubs, because pre-season is just so, and of course, very important that we keep the rugby show going throughout the year. And part of the reason we do it is that we can kind of help you get a little bit more exposure for rugby, because I know that a lot of you guys are still looking for sponsorship. Riaz, am I right? I mean, yes. It's still pre-season. The guys are still looking for jerseys and socks and catering and money, of course, if they can get it. I mean,
some clubs are still looking for players as well. But it's very important. This is the building time now, to build.
But I mean, what I'm kind of getting at is that if now with the TV show on, we can give them exposure beforehand.
Definitely, they need that. All the clubs need it. Like Elsie's, for example, now people will know about Elsie's. They will be coming out to Elsie's, and this exposure it'll go a long way for them to secure more sponsorships, jerseys, all those type of things that you need in the off-season.
Just a quick question for you from Violets. Is this halfway? Are they still with you guys for,
Yes.
For 2015?
2015, halfway, they are still with us, yes.
Ta-da! Halfway there. All right. And on the other side, Rentec, of course, at Rangers. Hamadias. It was. I think they were playing against. No, they were playing at Surrey when we went out there. And then down the side, on your left-hand side, it's Maritz Electrical and Via Media from Callies. And I don't know if you can see it behind Sharky, but Villagers have got a new jersey as well. We'll get you a shot of that a little bit later. So Villagers, Ramiz at Villagers was kind enough to organise us a new jersey. Benefit being, though, for Villagers. I'll show you guys that jersey in a sec. Let's catch up now with a training session as they got the ball rolling, so to speak. I think the ball's literally rolling in the beginning. We've still got to get those hands right. Elsie Shafir, back in action.
Motivation, boys. Het gaan ons deurdraai die jaar. Maar ons sal moet saamwerk, hard werk. En jy begin hierdie maandag. Jy gaan later ontvoel, so na 2-3 weke gaan jy voel. Hey, ek moes maar maandag aan gekom het. Gaan dit moeilik gaan.
I just want to say to everybody, LC's for life.
Yes, Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. And I've been asking you to share your fixtures that are coming up. This year, it's simple. You share, we share. You don't share, we don't share. Right? We need clubs who are going to participate, clubs who want to be on the TV show, clubs who want to find sponsors, clubs who want to get more players. That's what it's all about now. We're going to our 5th season. This is year number 5. This year, we look after the clubs that are making an effort out there, the clubs that are wanting to get on the show. I don't know, Riaz, am I being a little bit hard?
No, well, you've had a couple of years of social media seminars already under your belt, and there's another one coming up now shortly. So the clubs that haven't come on board yet, they can only be give themselves to blame because you've given them all the tools already over the last couple of years, and the clubs that have genuinely used it, you've seen they've grown. You can see it on the jerseys, on the show, and all of that. So, no, I don't think you're being too harsh. Those clubs need to come now. They need to come on board.
You know what? I know what's going to happen. I'm still going to have a soft spot and still end up going there to some club that really does need our help, and I do know that they are out there. But yeah, you know, we do want the clubs to work a little bit harder this year. We want your jumping castles out there when we come and cover the games, and we want to make sure that we can talk to all your coaches and managers and everybody, and that they're all amenable to getting themselves on TV. Because the reality of the fact is you're a community club, you're an amateur sport, and in the space more than others, you should be making an attempt to put yourself on TV and be a role model in the community. And you know, in the community, that's what they want to see. They want to see the coach on TV. That makes him famous. That makes him like, hey, meneer, ek gaan daar oefen.
Yeah, no, look, in the past it used to be friendly matches pre-season, but I think over the last couple of years that's changed. The focus has changed to events.
Yeah.
So you no longer have a friendly match, you've got a friendly event, you've got an event there. You've got the juniors playing right through for the entire day, you've got a jumping cast, you've got a couple of stalls. I mean, you create a hype around your club.
Yeah.
And that is what's been lacking for many years. We've only been focusing on only the match, instead of everything else that goes hand in hand with that as well. And to spread yourself into the community, you need to do all of those things. You need to create a hype, an event, attract people that are not necessarily there just for the rugby, but afterwards they will become part of the rugby if they see what's happening there.
But what has become with some of these coaches that have kind of become disillusioned? You're coaching a club, for heaven's sake. Yeah. This isn't the World Cup. It's a club. You know, it's like a squash club or a gym club. You're a coach at a club, for heaven's sake. Get a grip. All right, like really, your actual job as a coach of a club is you're a community coordinator. Yeah. You're just organizing sport in a community. Like, really, it's a club. It's a sports club. Like, you know, okay, all right. So, like, work on supporting your people, the community. I don't know, Sharks. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. I mean, I know you're a little bit more.
No, it's more. I think it's more a case of coaches. Everyone has their own personal goals where they want to get, how they get there. Yeah. Sometimes not always see eye to eye with people. But just going back to what you said in terms of like bringing the clubs as a community, I think it's fantastic. You know, there's some guys in the club now that used to be ball boys way back when. You know, we need to bring that back where the youngsters are proud to be there, and we've got to do that by supporting the club and in its entirety.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good point. It's a very good point, yeah. Nice to have the kids there. Anyway, one of the coaches that has been around for a while, Gert Rademan, and he coached at Goodwood. I remember Gert when he did very well at Goodwood, as well as coached a number of other teams in Western Province. And in fact, he's gone so far as to have written a book on rugby skills and techniques, and a heck of a nice guy. And he's moved from Goodwood over to Elsie's Rivier. What a thrill for him. I think he's going to absolutely love the coaching experience at Elsie's Rivier, and we managed to catch up with him. He can be a hard man when he wants to be. Man, he's a good rugby coach. Let's catch up with Gert.
Pre-season, well, we started the 12th already, working our way up to from Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, hoping to get the guys fit this year. And we're looking forward to getting more guys. There is a bit of a problem with a lot of the guys, and I think it's all over that a lot of the guys work shifts. But well, we're trying our best to establish some new things, bring forth a new style of rugby, hopefully, that the guys will adapt to. And well, we're looking forward to a good year. Well, as I've noticed from last year, they ended up 8th on the log, and hopefully we're looking to do a bit better. And well, some of my old players might be joining me, since this is my 21st year coaching rugby here at the Elsies, and still my passion, just coaching the game. And the people have welcomed me so far, and I feel very welcome at the club in any case, and I enjoy it so far. Well, we know that they play a very expansive game. Always. I started my year in 94-95 coaching rugby at Northern's Avonwood as such, you know, and I've learned that they've always tried to play the game wide and very expansive game, and so I'm very much used to it. Playing against them, playing against these teams in any case, you should know that they play a very wide game, so they have a lot of speed, and I'm just going to step right into it and carry on with the same style that they're playing, hopefully to get a good couple of forwards, you know, to stand up to some of the heavier sides coming in the season. Spirit is good. It's really looking up, even better. It's slowly but surely growing. I see that the word is spreading around that more and more guys are joining so far. So obviously they're ready for something new. I'm very much prepared to give them something new, change their way of thinking. I'm very much into discipline and working hard at the practices and working hard at the game.
21 years of coaching. That's a fair contribution to community rugby.
Definitely, and he's going to enjoy himself at Elsie's Rivier. He's a good guy, going from Goodwood all the way back to Elsie's, going to help out there as well. Elsie's, though, what I've picked up with Elsie's over the past couple of years is they are very, very disciplined club. You go there on a Saturday, there won't be untoward violence, or there won't be any swearing, and they're very, very disciplined, and they can be very proud of that fact. I mean, for where they come from and what community they come from, they are a shining light in that community there, and I'm sure he's going to enjoy his time being at Elsie's.
Do you think? Okay. So let me ask you this, both of you guys. It's fine to go to get a new coach, okay, but you can't just dump him with the baggage from last year. You've also got to support him with good managers, administration, and give him some players to work with. Sharky?
Yeah, you know, club rugby has changed. The face of club rugby is changed quite drastically in the last 5-10 years. You know, where it comes down to having a team manager as well, which are starting to, like Super A guys have got team managers in the seconds and sometimes in the third side, which never used to have. So in terms of the support base, you know, it's very important, and it's important for the first team coach to understand that his role is a little bit bigger than that, where he'll be assisting the seconds and the thirds, which they have done in the past, but we've seen a lot of first team coaches just focused on the first team, and you know, you need the depth, so you need to make sure that the structures are focused all the way down to thirds and deeper under 20s.
That's what I was just about to ask Riaz about that. I mean, like I said, you can't just dump the coach and think that you're going to leave him. You've got to give him a first team to work with. You've got to give him a second team to work with, and you've got to give him a relationship to come into. You can't just take a coach, throw him, and think he's going to win you the league.
No, we had a coach that came to our club in the years when we were the dark ages, the dark years when violence was down at the bottom. We had Nazim Adams coming to us. He's a province coach today, and when he came to our club, he came with his own team. He actually came with his own team. He had his own fitness guys, all of those type of things, but we never had the players to give to him. So we had a good coach there, but he didn't have the tools to work with. Zane Daniels from Collegians came to us for 2 years. Also the same thing, same scenario. So therefore it's important for the club to be able to assist these coaches when they do come to your club. And I think the number one thing is you need to have the numbers on the practice. A coach will tell you, it doesn't matter if the player is not the best of players, but he can work with the player.
So you need
as long as he's there.
Practice,
You need them to come to the practice to begin with. And like all the clubs are starting out now pre-season, everybody will struggle with the numbers to begin with.
And whose responsibility is to get the numbers of the players?
Well, the club admin, the club administrators, the executive of the club, to make sure that they get the people there. You can't expect the coach to always run around and get the players there. The club has got to be there already in its entirety, and
unless
the coach
he's
has
only
got
a salary.
Well, if he can assist where he can.
I mean, if it's his job, like if recruitment is his job,
then that would be obviously part of his portfolio. Then obviously he'd be responsible for that as well.
Because personally, that's what I would like to see in sport, in general in sport, not just rugby. I'd like to see that the coach gets paid, and he gets paid to look after the facilities. He gets paid to check the electricity is paid. He gets paid to organise the braai vleis and community. In other words, you get a full-time job, full-time coach, full-time job.
Yeah, well,
that's
most
idea.
of the clubs have got a guy like Ramiz Ismail now at Villages. He's the club manager. He's your guy that sorts out all of those things for you, all your logistical problems on and off the field. That would fall in his ambit today, and they'll pay him for that. Not necessarily the coach. The coach they would want to more focus on the on-field stuff. But
if you're a club that doesn't have any money, you've only got enough money to pay one guy.
Yeah, well then that's different. Then obviously that with most of the smaller clubs as well, you've got different portfolios, like 2 or 3 portfolios that fall under one person on the executive. So I'll be the treasurer, but I'll also be the secretary, for example, the match secretary on a Saturday. So that's fine. That's not a problem. But you want to move into a space whereby you empower more of these sports interns coming through. Because a sad fact is that everybody's getting sports diplomas via tertiary education. Sports management diplomas, they're getting their degrees, but they don't all have opportunities at the bigger unions, for example, the cricket unions or the rugby or the soccer, to get a post there.
And there's hundreds of those kids.
And there's many of them.
They should all be doing a 6 months internship and show their contribution to the club, maybe even learn a little bit about sports marketing and eventing and so forth. And after 6 months, if you see the guys bringing in some money with sponsorship and event planning and braai vleis and ticketing, then you can put him on a small salary. You've got an intern who's turned into an employee.
Exactly, and from there it enhances their CV as well when they want to move on. Because most of these people's CVs that you see, it's a page. They don't have any experience, so you know, obviously this enhances that part as well.
All right, folks. So that's our little. In fact, we need to do some workshops on this. I know the government's doing a lot of workshops on this. Clubwise is doing some workshops. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll catch up with Marius Marcus. He's been at the club since he was 14 years old at Elsie's. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. On Twitter, you can follow us at Cape Rugby TV, and let us know what you're up to. Remember, we want to know game time. Interesting conversation we were having off air here now about the change in style and getting more people involved in the club, and essentially that's what those committees are about. Huh? You know, you've got to get them out.
You've got to. It's important. Like I was telling you now off air. Milnerton Harlequins, years ago, about 12 years ago, they had somebody there employed on a permanent basis already doing all of those things for the club logistically. And that person was based at the clubhouse, and he did everything for them, did the running around of making sure the facilities were sorted out and all of that. And a lot of the smaller clubs don't have that. But it's important for the clubs to understand that they need to start working into that space. There are interns out there which can be approached via Western Province as well, and maybe some of them can be sent to your club to come and help you out with certain things if you are struggling.
And you need to realize, one thing that I've realized in amateur sport is that these volunteers, because that's really what everybody is in amateur sport, everyone's a volunteer. Unless you're getting paid, you're a volunteer. So you need to really look after your volunteers. You need to respect them, help them out with the little things, like give them a parking place or those kind of things that keeps people. But I don't know, when it comes to violence, it's endless parking lot conversations. I can never get out of violence until the game will finish at 7 o'clock.
That's a hot ticket on a Saturday.
The parking lot is always the best spot to be after the game. I don't know. All right, folks, we managed to catch up with Riaz Marcus. He's playing at LC's Rugby, and he's been there since he was 14 years old. This is true community rugby.
Say around about 20 years, give and take. I started playing senior 1996, played third team, then I was selected second team, then first team, and first team since then. A lot of running. Coach's emphasis on getting the guys fit for the season, and we can start probably in the next couple of weeks with the ball. This is a great club. I've been here 20 years, so anybody's welcome. The spectators are very loyal, and they will appreciate the good rugby we're going to dish out this year.
So we continue in the vein of talking to the guys at LC's Rugby, and this is what we like to do. We like to see who's playing at the club. We like to bring those club players onto TV and immediately create the pride factor. So we've spoken there to Gert Rademan. Gert's watching the show right now. He's jumping up and down on his chairs. He's telling his mom and his dad, XLP TV, XLP TV. This is like very exciting. So LC's Rugby is like on another wave. Riaz Marcus, all right, he's been there since 14. His mom and his dad and his uncle are saying, finally, my boy, you've made it. Okay, and we managed to also catch up there with Desmond James, the first team player at LC's.
The camaraderie, family, training. Every day is not actually every day, but every training is not actually the same, which means you don't actually go through the motions. It's always something new. For me, I actually started late pre-season, and you see, yeah, but pre-season has always been like the guys that come in drips and drabs. You see, around about March, yeah. Early April, yeah. Then the guys start pitching up. My goal maybe better than next year, yeah. You see, forward-wise, and what I always try to do is lift up the players, whether it's on the field of practice or during the game. Yeah, definitely fitness-wise, yeah, endurance, stamina. Yeah, that's my main goals. Yeah, they must keep watching Cape Rugby, and hopefully LC's will turn a leaf this season.
Craig Kaiser is the manager at LC's Rugby this year. Shaun, how much a role does the manager have as a one-on-one with the players? I mean, Hammy's, and you've been around, of course, a lot of clubs. Is it just about managing the club, or how much interaction does he have with the players to keep them enjoyable and all that?
Plenty. Depends, obviously, sort of what you put down as his job description, etc., etc. But I know that at Hammy's, the club manager has been heavily involved, and that's
who's your manager
Mike Stegmaier.
Mike Stegmaier, of course. Oh, and of course, he's very involved with the score, organising the fixtures and updating the scrummage system and the results.
He's there all the time. He's working all the time, and his plate's full every day of the week.
Yeah, he's a very busy guy. I mean, he puts in a huge effort, and he's been there for a long time.
Yeah, he's been involved in the game for a long time. He's come from Village, and he's been with Hammy's for a few years now. Yeah.
Just on the scrummage system, Riaz, the guys, are the clubs already registering and updating?
They need to. The cut-off date for the updating of the club information is on Friday the 23rd. Also, to add on to that, all your club friendlies.
What do you mean updating of the club information?
Well, every year, obviously, you might change your executive committee after your AGMs and stuff, so you need to update the club information for the club booklet, which means that you might have a new chairman, a new secretary, a new match secretary, and now they've got a new portion they've added there as well, your scrummage administrator. So you need to specifically put down the details of the person in charge of all your scrummage administration stuff on a Saturday, as well on that list.
Okay, so they've got 2 days left.
Yeah, till Friday.
Right, folks, there you have it. Okay, so you got till Friday. That's the day after tomorrow. You got until, what, probably midnight then. That would make it fair. You have to have your scrummage system updated. So we'll put that on social media as well, on Facebook, and make sure that all your administrators are up then. So that's your web admin person or your scrum admin person, right, Riaz?
Your chairman, your president, your match secretary.
Your whole executive.
Your whole executive must go on there. Okay. There's a form as well you can fax off. Faisal did send that stuff out. And also there's a new
email. Faisal Felton, of course, the administrator.
Yeah. And there's also a new email address to use as well. It's clubinfo@vprugby.co.za.
Right.
So everybody's got to email the stuff to there as well.
All right, I'm sure the club guys know what that is, but now you know what your deadline is. You've got until the end of Friday to update your executive, and after that, I'm sure you're going to get a very upset administrator at Western Province Rugby. Craig Kaiser is the first team manager. He's one of the guys that will be on that list on the scrummage system. He's the manager at LCs. Let's catch up with Craig.
Definitely, like they call me, I'm the legend of LCs. And my passion was just rugby all these years. Well, to be honest, it's a club that I've grown up, and I never left for another club, and I love this club. The atmosphere, the spectator vibe, that is what kept me at this club. I started at junior level, and I've grown through the ranks. I've gone through the ranks. I played. In the evenings, in the mornings I played junior rugby, and in the afternoon I went to go play senior rugby in third team, and that's how it started. And since then I played third team, and then I was captain of the second team, and then I played a few games first team. But after that, I've changed. I went into management, and I've been the first team manager, I've been the second team manager, I've been the third team manager. And hopefully this year, I'll be back as the first team manager. My goal for the season is just to see that our guys enjoy the rugby. So like I said, we are a NPO. Like what I mean is that we're a non-profit organization. We just want to uplift the community and tell the community about this is LCs, this is how we play sport, and this is how we want to teach your kids to take part in sport and leave gangsterism and stuff like that. To the community, I will say, please send your kids to LC's Park. Or shall I say, LC's Rugby United. We are here a family, and your kids is very safe with us.
I was just asked a very interesting question. Sharky, you asked me, how do we go about the... You want to ask it again? No, do I focus on a different club every week?
Yes, sorry, you lost me there for a sec. Yeah, I just wanted to find out, because I mean, LC's River getting a lot of exposure today, which is great. And I just wanted
last
to find
week
out
it was villages. So no, we kind of get around at the moment because the leagues hasn't started, but we know the Varsity Cup and Community Challenge starting soon, and Super 15. We already have got rugby to talk about. So and then generally we try and give all clubs some exposure in some way, shape or form every week. But your question was, when will we start showing behind the scenes administrators of Western Province? So that's a new thing that's going to happen, is once a week we'll have somebody as of next week, and we'll start off with the president of Western Province, Mr. Thello Wakefield. He'll be in the hot seat answering questions about Western Province. The following week we'll talk about referees, the next week we'll talk about women's development, next week we'll talk about school rugby, then we'll talk more about administration, then maybe more about amateur rugby, maybe about the disciplinaries, the referees, the coaches, and so we'll have those portfolio here.
There's so many of them that work behind the scenes. It would be nice to put a name to the face to the name as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely very important. Folks, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll talk to the Vice Chairman at LCS. Back with you in a sec. Fantastic conversations, Welcome back, folks. Yes, we're talking now about European rugby and NPC rugby. Sharky, we're going to have to dig into that in a sec. All right, the club vice chairman at LC's Refuge is Leon Farrow, and his wife Charlotte is the club secretary. Keeping it all in the family when you run a club. Let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah, my name is Leon Faru. I'm the vice chairman of the club. I've been with the club for about more than 10 years, and I like it here. It's a tough community, but it's a very nice community. It's a community club, and that is why most of us stay around with the club. As you heard from Percy and the previous and Michi before, they have never been to any other club. Getting in players is a little difficult because of the financial situation. The vibe it's exciting this year. I've never seen it so exciting. Middle January, and there is a new vibe going through the club now this year. We hope to keep it that way. New season, new coach, new goals. The goal is the ultimate goal is to end up under the first three, most probably the top club. That's our immediate goal. Of course, the other goals is, like I said, we're a community club. Bring the community together, getting the youngsters off the road. Like Percy said before, if we can get just a couple of those guys that is desperate out there, the youngsters, get them to the club. I must say, previously also, every year we get about 3 or 4 youngsters that know nothing about rugby, and they stay with the club. We teach them rugby, we teach them discipline, we teach them how to in a team effort, how to operate, and a family life. That is one of our biggest challenges.
My word. All right, folks, the Vasco Tavern is, of course, a keen supporter of Cape Rugby TV. 33280 is the number that you need to text us, and the word Vasco, and you win yourself a 250 Rand meal voucher. Let's quickly look at the winner there of the Vasco Tavern. Congratulations to Pierre Smith. Pierre wins for himself a 250 Rand meal voucher to go and have a 250 Rand dinner at the Vasco Tavern. A couple of fixtures coming up then also over the next couple of days. Strand Pioneers have got their tournament up and running. That's on the 24th of January. Entrance fee is only 10 Rand and kids is only 5 Rand. For the teams, 350 Rand. Of course, we played the Cape Rugby TV 7 side, played in the Strand Pioneers 7s not so long ago. Fantastic tournament. It's really good fun out there at Abattoir. Get out there if you have half a chance, and you can check out the Strand Pioneers 7s tournament. It is really, really great fun. And the Cape Rugby squad, when we went out there, and it's kindly supported, of course, by SPAR and the District Mail. When we went out there, we had a real jewel. We had Morgan Newman and Ishmael Dolly and Paul Delport, and we had our camping chairs out. World class. Great fun. Another big Sevens tournament that's coming up is the West Bank Sevens. We're unfortunately not going to be able to get out there, although we'll see if we can cover the game, but they had the press release tonight, so we couldn't come to the launch. That's at the end of the month, from the 30th and 31st of January. There's a 28,000 Rand prize money. They're supported by Castle Lager, OK Mini Mark, and Powerade. I know Ian Adams is very involved there with the organising of the West Bank Sevens. All right, so get out there. It's in Malmesbury on the 30th to the 31st of January. Great tournament's been running for a long time, and a lot of the teams come out there. Let's quickly look at some of the teams that are playing in that. Marty's, UWC, St. George's, Kales River and Strand, and Whistling Wheels, Penil Villages, Hamlets, Young Peoples, and Elsie's, all going out to go play in the West Bank Sevens. Then, of course, one of the other big events that's coming up is the Cape Town 10s. This is going to be a monster. Bob Skinstad and his boys rolling it out as usual. Remember last year we had Carlos Spencer on. Hamilton's, UCT, Marty's, the Western Province Academy, and SK Warmers, and of course the Western Province 7 side, all out there. And those, of course, just in the Premier Division playing in the Cape Town 10s. Big fun, massive event, probably now one of the world's biggest events. Like, you can almost put that Cape Town 10s on the map as like the JNB Met. And then the Community Cup first round fixtures that starts on the 21st of February. Shisham take on Hamiltons, and then Old Selbornians are playing up against Durban. So I'm just correcting my little mistake there of saying that it started on the 14th. It actually starts on the 21st of February, right? And then, of course, the Community Challenge starts on the 7th of February. And I think the Varsity Cup starts, I think on the 4th. When does the Varsity Cup start, guys? Have any idea? Anyway, we'll bring you the Varsity Cup information soon. Still a lot of action there. Box Smart Referees Pro course is coming up. That is on Saturday. You can contact Ben Teron at Western Province Rugby, B Teron at WPRFU.co.za. Box Smart Referees courses, and I think that there is free of charge. It should be free of charge. So a lot of excitement there. Just a quick one, Riaz. There's a cut-off day for friendlies, I believe.
Friday, cut-off date. All your friendlies need to be confirmed with the Western Province Admin Department.
Right.
For Friday, you need to confirm that as well as your referees as well. Any referees complaints, queries must go via the Western Province office, because Marianne Weingard has been doing it for all the years, has retired.
Right.
So Marianne's no longer there, so it needs to go via the office at Western Province, clubinfo@vprugby.co.za. And then another important date, the season starts on the 11th of April.
11th of April, has that date now been set? The fixtures are not finalized.
No, not at all. The
not
fixtures.
At all. Okay, so anybody, I mean, every year we go through this, where some administrator leaks the fixtures, they're not finalized. Folks, the fixtures are not finalized or official in any capacity until they are published on the Club Rugby website. Even if you see them on Scrummit, it's not finalized until the date of release, which you will only see officially on the wpclubrugby.co.za website. The notification will come up and say that is it. All right, and then so we know that the season starts then in
11th,
April.
and another important date is the cut-off date for player movement amongst between clubs, 27th of March.
27th of March.
3 weeks prior to the season.
For player movement. 27th of March.
3 weeks prior to the season starting.
You still have registrations?
Well, you can, but you can't. If you played for a club after the 27th, you can't move from that club.
All right, Riaz Khan, thanks for joining us on Cape Rugby TV. It's been fantastic chatting with you.
Only a pleasure.
And we look forward to having you on the show lots and lots.
Definitely. Looking forward to 2015. Can't wait.
Sharky, apparently not an aficionado of rugby, but a rugby fanatic.
I have a problem, yeah.
You have a problem. Listen, it's been great having you on the show, and we're looking forward to having you on the show a lot more.
Well, thank you very much. It's enjoyed it, and I look forward to it too. It was good fun.
And folks can, of course, follow you on @JudgeRugby.
Yes, on Twitter you can follow me on @JudgeRugby and see what I have to say, and feel free to comment on it.
Always something interesting on you. Always something interesting. There we go, folks. That's a wrap of Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. And next week we'll have the president of Western Province Rugby Football Union, Mr. Thelo Wakefield, on the show as he tells us what's happening with the world of administration of rugby. I know they've been in some boss parada, they've done a lot of planning, and it's going to be very exciting for 2015. We'll be back with you guys next week, same time, same place. A fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.